I'm Betsy, and I'm here with Erica, Eddie, and Megan, and we're all part of the 7th period broadcast team. Every morning or afternoon on CBS, there's a feature of... Hi, I'm Betsy, and I'm here with Megan and Eddie, and we're all part of the 7th period broadcast team. For a feature, we got an idea from CBS, and that doesn't make any sense. Crap!
It's okay, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Betsy, and I'm here with Megan and Eddie, and we're all part of the 7th period broadcast team. Recently, we got an idea from CBS to choose a classroom, and we're going to interview the teacher and the students and basically find out what the class does. If this goes well, we might try to do it once a week. But first, we have to choose that class and what period. So in order to do that, we're going to throw this marker at a jumbo-sized map of our school.
Alright, so I don't know where I'm throwing it at. I don't know where I'm throwing it. I'm going to close my eyes so it can land on any random spot of the map. It felt like this.
No, you need to
I thought like...
No, that would definitely work. And then like show half the markers in here and half in the back.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Alright. To make sure that I don't know where I'm throwing it, I'm going to close my eyes. Hold on, at least I made a mark. I made a mark, right?
No. Blue. Is the marker even?
Like that.
No, you need to throw it like that.
Do it dagger style.
Like...
Why don't we get a little closer?
You can't see
that. All right. No, don't throw it like that.
Dagger
Do it
dark
this way
style now.
Like
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Okay. To make sure I don't pick any certain class, I'm going to be closing my eyes so it can land on any random spot of the map of the school. Now we've got it narrowed down to the upper hall, I'll scoot in to make sure I actually hit something this time. Gosh! Okay. Alright, sorry guys, last try. Room 220!
We got 220.
To make sure that I don't know where I'm throwing the dart, or...
Hold on, Brittany. When you're recording, just throw him. Get him. Don't get it hitting the map. Throw him. Get him throwing.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. To make sure I don't know where I'm throwing it, I'm going to close my eyes so it can land on anywhere on the map. Looks like room 220.
One out of the hat. Oh, wait. Sorry. It's okay. Okay.
Find out what period we're going to be in.
Now I'm gonna pick a number out of that. Yeah. Now I'm gonna pick a number out of the hat to see which period we're going to be interviewing.
Mr. Adams, we are trying to record and you're over there
We'll just go
talking
in
in the
there.
background. Oh my god.
Careful.
Adams, we can't work in this
I tell you
situation.
what, if I screw up in here, I send you out. I don't want to do that. So.
What? Okay, what we'll do is we'll stand over here so we're not in the canvas view. Okay.
Now I'm gonna pick a number out of the hat to see which period we'll be interviewing.
Oh my god.
Are you scared? You sound like a man. Oh. Adams, quit joking around with me like that. I want to be able to trust you. You're not like Adams is crazy.
We got like 2 minutes, guys. Come on.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna draw a number from the hat to see which
You're in the shot.
Don't put me in the shot.
Okay. Hold on. Let me zoom in then. Okay, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna draw a number from the hat to see which period we'll be interviewing. And it is 3rd period. I want to say, like, since we're 7th period broadcast,
Yeah.
we'll be interviewing Mrs. Brewer's 7th period class.
Yeah.
Since we're 7th period broadcast,
F1 generation that we're putting to sleep right now to count them and breed them. And the males should have white eyes and the female should have red eyes, and that's how we tell the difference.
I did all.
All right, Eddie, I'm done.
Yes.
All right.
Act like you're teaching this, Brewer.
I'm always teaching. Okay, Eddie.
Oh my gosh!
We are juggling actually 3.
What is that? Like the.
Oh, that's just my food.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
There it is, powder flakes.
That's gross.
Um,
Or whatever.
do you just about have your new F2 vial prepared, Andre?
No.
We have our
Is
sign.
it?
We have our sign
I
here.
have it prepared, but we're trying to put the plastic.
No, we don't have to be sure on our distinction. Plus, we only had like 4.
That's okay. It's okay if tomorrow you only have 4. It's all right to go ahead and start with those 4. And you can add some because, they don't all have to hash at the same time.
Oh, I
They
forgot.
don't all have to begin at the same time. Oh, anybody else with a permission slip for Thursday?
No, but Elizabeth wrote all over mine.
It's okay. All I need is a parent signature.
I have one of those.
And where are we going Thursday?
Carmel High School.
Because what are we getting here? A
Genetics specialist.
I put that in my story.
Oh, is there any way we could go and get it?
Is there any way? 5 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
I put on the thing that we needed to meet me back here by 3:30.
Okay, good.
Okay,
That's
that's
my
what I put on the
first
permission slip. All right. Catherine wants to go next. And what are you going to tell us?
There's just, I think that's about all.
Another thing that's interesting about this is that the last time we studied this, we learned that there are at least 9 different varieties of ADD.
That's,
And it's manifested almost in as many different ways as there are people who actually possess the disorder. And by the way, it is chemical. And the
Right.
reason why stimulants are often effective for people who are actually hyperactive is, remember when we learned about
Yeah.
feedback loops, that positive feedback, more of it actually triggers the reverse reaction.
right.
You just need a little bit more to get them to that threshold to finish that feedback loop.
That's exactly, I knew that because my stepbrother, he was diagnosed with OCD and ADHD. So he's on a bunch of those medicines, and he's like really hyper, but when you take the medicine, it really mellows him out. But ADD is basically a lesser form of ADHD, and basically the people who research it just categorize it all together as ADHD. Because it's basically the same thing, but ADD doesn't include the hyperactivity and the impulsiveness. So.
Right. And sometimes counseling
Right.
will help, especially with adolescents. It's usually when it kind of peaks. And if you're going to outgrow it, you begin to see symptoms subside by the time you
And there was one more thing because I was
graduate from high school.
looking when you said
Considered childhood disease because children who were born with the disease never lived past adolescence or even to adolescence. Now, with improvements in the treatments available, there people who are born with cystic fibrosis are living into their 30s and beyond. And the disorder is found on chromosome 7, and it has to be inherited by both parents, so it's a recessive gene, and both parents have to have both chromosomes.
Is it okay if I email you today?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's swimming in the alcohol. I feel horrible.
Are we gonna go over our study guide?
Yes, we are. She said we were earning them. I think those are still awake. Hope there's no little flies creeping out.
me, please?
Are you counting them by their eyes? Here, are you counting them? Liz, you say it's over chapter 13, but Liz was talking about how she found most of her answers in chapter 15.
The what?
Liz is wrong.
Well, cell.
Okay, you ready?
We had to do a report on genetic diseases. We could pick what we wanted to do, but they all had to be different. Is that right?
But one of the things is that, I looked it up in the
index, and it's in chapter 16. Like, that's the closest.
Yeah, that's all I put in here.
Not really.
That's why there's no flies in this one.
I think I lost the one in the food, Catherine.
Tell me what you're doing.
As long as it's dead.
I am getting the flies out so they don't mate with their offspring.
6 white. Now I need to do this one. That's the one I just did. I need to do this one.
Ask her some questions.
Well, you gotta just smush them.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions. They're just me. Okay. So you don't even really need to look at me, just look at the camera.
Okay.
I killed Blue Blue
No
in this
hair.
shirt.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Do you think? Okay, yeah. Hold on. Listen to my questions and make sure you can
Because we're making
stop
the next
recording.
generation.
It's okay, just
One
his
is
eye.
one.
Okay.
He has white eyes. Get off my freaking face. Gross.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Why did you just have to take this class?
Because I know I had to take it in college and just to get a head start.
You was?
And
You're going there.
majoring in college.
I'm not sure yet, but medicine.
Does this help you out a lot?
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
kids are going to F too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
What do you
This
enjoy
one's a
about
step
it?
ahead of that one.
Right now the flies. It's kind of gross, but it's kind of fun too.
I think that means there's
What
14
other
flies.
projects or other activities will you look forward to this year?
For, let's see, what else are we doing this year?
Doing something with
Field
DNA.
trips. And
No, he's a different generation.
I don't
These are
know.
up to
That's about all we know about right now.
Oh yeah, I just put that back.
Trip to where?
Yeah.
Carmel High School to a genetics lecture Thursday.
What are you doing with these flies?
Counting them.
Yes, we are telling which one is male and female so that they can mate. Well, that or put them, just kill them. Why we're doing the flies?
Genetics.
Yes, so we can see what the outcome will be, like crosses. Like, what are you doing?
We're doing the dihybrid cross.
We're doing a monohybrid.
We're doing a monohybrid cross, so we just have to watch
So you already killed all
eye
five?
color.
When that was live and came out.
Yeah, that's really gross.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I gotta go wash it out.
it looks cool.
Yeah, yeah. Science nerd.
Yeah, we'll use some of them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going to use.
Go ahead.
What do you mean to say?
Ask your questions.
I'll probably ask you the same questions I asked Brittany. Why did you decide to take this class?
Basically because my sophomore year, Mrs. Mobley asked me to take it because she knew I kind of wanted, I want to be a doctor, and she knew that I would have to major in all this kind of stuff when I was in college, and she told me that it would really help me, so that's why.
Are you done with questions? State your name.
Why? Sorry, I can't do this. I can't do this under pressure.
You are not under pressure.
Justice. Why did you decide to take this class?
They could be helpful in college.
What do you plan on majoring in college?
Environmental studies.
Do you like this class?
It's all right.
Why did you decide to take this class?
The credit, pretty much.
What do you plan on majoring in college?
Psychology. Andre, your turn.
I'm entering. Why did you decide to take this class?
So that I could be prepared for college.
And what do you plan on majoring in college?
Biology and chemistry.
Oh! Melissa Bishop. Why did you decide to take this class?
Because I thought it would be helpful in college.
And what do you plan on majoring in college?
I have no idea. I'm entering exploratory.
Who's the other girl that was with you last time? That's not on, is it?
No.
Who's the girl that was with you last time?
Megan.
Megan. Yeah, she came up and interviewed. I guess it was last week.
Yeah, for the polls.
Ask you what you enjoy about this class. Like,
Yeah,
especially
sure.
this particular one.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you enjoy about this particular class?
Probably the thing that excites me the most is that we get to talk about biology at a much deeper level. The students are interested. They want to know what's happening in the real world. It's also exciting because biology changes. Every time we open the book, something is slightly different than it was when the book was written. And we are, in fact, in the middle of a huge molecular revolution. We're learning so much so fast about DNA and how it works in our bodies, how it affects life around the entire planet, that the information comes almost faster than we can absorb it, which I find very exciting because there's always something new to learn. I have to adapt some of my lectures every year because there are things that we learn that have changed. It's also, at times, I have to confess, it's a little bit overwhelming because it's the broadest subject area that I can think of. I can't think of any other subject area that is as broad as biology, at least in the sciences. And so I know for the students sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming because we have so much material that we have to cover, especially for those who want to prepare for the exam in the spring. But it's doable. It just requires an awful lot of dedication and commitment. And that's why, as I was telling people earlier, I have an awful lot of respect for students who are mature enough to see, to be able to understand the big picture and realize that there are sacrifices that they might make for a class like this. But in the long run, it'll pay off. And those efforts will make a difference. At least I hope they will.
I can read.
God. Where'd you go? Let's
What are you recording that for?
I'm recording your feet walking down the stairs. Now sit down.
Read a barcode right here. What that does is send a signal to a microprocessor that can tell what position the wheel's at. That way, even though you're sending the signal to turn, at some point it's going to stop because you don't want to turn any tighter. And also when you release the stick, it's going to go and automatically center the wheel again. That way you can get going straight. That way you can line up on an opponent, let go of the steering wheel, just hit the throttle, and you'll end up going straight into your opponent. We took this robot out to San Francisco in the spring for the Comedy Central BattleBox competition, and we went up our opponent that we lost and to impale ourselves on a spike. And so in front of a television audience, I got to crowbar my robot off the wall. But that was BattleBot Season 5. After Season 5, we realized that some driver training against a live opponent would be good, so we built a second robot, a robot that we can just train against a live opponent and a moving opponent. It's called TargetBot. The name's pretty self-explanatory. Future plans and standard questions usually include the weapons. Obviously, this was last semester's weapons. This semester, a pneumatic lifting system is being added so that 2 lifting arms are on the front and they can pop about 1,000 pounds of force and flip an opponent over, or at least up in the air. So the last thing I have is I have a video of one of our
department. It's mechanical engineering technology. Doug is in mechanical engineering. The difference between the two is that mechanical engineering is more of design work, a lot of theory behind applications, thermal applications, fluid applications, mechanic applications. And technology degree varies in that we focus primarily on the fundamental application of how the theory works. So, for instance, they design a part, we manufacture a part. We take their designs and we make them work. We make them a reality. As Doug had also said, there's a thing called a senior design project. This here is a senior design project, typical senior design project. And what that does is it takes your 4 years of of knowledge that you've gained through your program, and you apply all of those principles, and you develop a product. And this happened to be the product that we're working on right now. This is one of last year's designs. Besides BUVs, there's also some other things that they designed: tracheotomy tubes for babies, handicapped children, vehicles for handicapped children. The BUV, it started out as an idea to find affordable transportation for developing nations, such as African nations, jungle environments. So there were design considerations that go into a BUV. A basic BUV has to have a design requirement so that it can carry 1,000 pounds, weigh no more than 500 pounds, cost less than $900, and go at least 20 miles per hour with a 1,000-pound payload. This exceeded all of those with the exception of weight and cost. It weighed more than 500 pounds and it cost more than the $900 to make. But despite all that, they still won the competition last year. There's a yearly competition.
I'm a third-year mechanical engineering technology student at IUPUI. I graduated from here in 1999. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about this race series, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about this car in particular, and then I'll answer some questions. The series is called Formula Lightning. It was started in '93, mainly by General Motors as an effort to advance electric vehicle technology. I don't know how much it's gotten, how much it's gone toward that particular goal. But what it has done is it's created a really great venue for racing. IUPUI has been an active participant since '94. This is the third car we've had. This car was brand new this past spring. I've got a picture here of what it looked like when it was new. Obviously, it's been through a season. It's got some damage on it now. General Motors had a program for an experimental electric vehicle called the EV1. The EV1 fell on its face, and General Motors was left with all these electric motors and batteries that they were going to use. They had no use for them. This series got started, and General Motors decided that this would just be a wonderful thing to do with their spare parts, so they gave every team 7 motors, and 40 batteries. A little bit about the car itself. It weighs 2,600 pounds loaded. 1,600 pounds of that's in batteries. It's got, at any given time, it's got 32 batteries, just like this one on board. These batteries are contained in 8 packs. When you get a chance, you can walk over here to the side and take a look at them. There's 4 of these packs in each side. Each pack has 4 batteries in it. A normal race car comes in for a pit stop, they get fuel and tires. We get batteries and tires. Okay, we can change batteries, tires, give the driver a drink of water, do whatever we need to do. Our record for a pit stop is 22 seconds. Goes up from there depending on what we need to do. The car has, at one point...
No. I know it's recording. Turn it off.
Is it really recording?
Yeah,
it is.
Hi, I'm here with Nick Kenworthy, a 1999 graduate of Mooresville High School, and can you tell us why you're here today?
Here today with IUPUI's electric race team. We're here to kind of try to get the students interested in the race team. We've also got the BattleBot here today and the BUV, basic utility vehicle.
Can you tell us how you got interested in this field?
I've always been, anything mechanical's always interested me. My major at IUPUI is mechanical engineering technology. I'm a third-year mechanical engineering technology student. I'll graduate next December.
And is there anything you want to tell the students of Mooresville High School?
I just think that this has been, I spent a year at West Lafayette, and came down to IUPUI, and I think there's some really good opportunities. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of things you can get involved in. I'm doing this as with the race car team as a senior project, but it's open to all IUPUI students. There's a lot of activities, a lot of things you can get involved in. It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and good luck with everything you do.
Thanks.
I'm Betsy, and I'm here with Megan and Eddie, and we're all part of the 7th period broadcast team. Recently, we got an idea from CBS to choose a classroom, and we're going to interview the teacher and the students, and basically find out what the class does. If this goes well, we might try to do it once a week. But first, we have to choose that class and what period. So in order to do that, we're going to throw this marker at a jumbo-sized map of our school.
I'm throwing it. I'm going to close my eyes so it can land on anywhere on the map. Looks like room 220.
Here we are, entering room 220, Mrs. Brewer's 7th period AP biology class. This is the true story of 7 seniors
picked to learn in a room
and have their experience taped while they breed fruit flies.